Okay, hello everybody. Today we're here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 in the Cessna Skyhawk. We have a 55 nautical mile flight from Lancaster, Lima, November, Sierra, to Doylestown, Delta, Yankee, Lima. We'll be flying VFR, and one of my viewers asked if I could do a tutorial on reading VFR sectionals and doing some VFR flight planning, so we'll include that in the flight brief. It should be an awesome flight, so let's hop into the pilot seat and get started. Alright, this is an awesome freeware airport that was made for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 but works for 2024. See the video details if you'd like to download it from flightsim.to. So we've got our window open, we've got our checklist here on the EFB. We'll just toggle that over to the before start checklist. That looks good. Now head down here, we will check that our parking brake is set. Now it is. Our trim will adjust for takeoff. Mixtures to cutoff, throttle idle. We'll push the fuel cutoff in, check that the fuel selector rotates through all positions, and put it back to the center position. Battery and master are on. We'll turn the beacon on to let people know we're about to start. Our display is up. We can check fuel quantity left and right. We've got full fuel tanks. We would have measured them up in the wings to verify that. We'll bring the mixture into full rich, crack the throttle. We'll turn the fuel pump on. Turn the fuel pump back off. Bring the mixture back out. Feet on the brakes, clear prop. Keys are in the ignition, and we'll crank it over to start. We'll bring in the mixture as it starts. And we've got a good start. We'll bring up the throttle till we get to our target RPMs. That all looks good. Close the window because it's a little noisy now with the engine started. And it's time to get on the avionics and put on our headphones. Head down here, we'll get on the taxi light in preparation for taxiing. As we get everything set up here, I'll open up ForeFlight and take you through the flight brief. And I'll just superimpose what I can see on my iPad mini here on the screen. So we're departing from Lancaster, KLNS, and we are flying direct to Doylestown. Now you notice they're different colors. Doylestown is sort of a reddish magenta color, and Lancaster was blue. That's because Doylestown is an untowered field, and Lancaster is a towered field. Blue is towered, magenta is untowered. You can see there's a CTAF frequency here of 122.975. Field elevation is 394, and the runway length in hundreds is 30, so that's 30 hundreds or 3,000 feet. And in fact, if you tap on this in ForeFlight, you can see that the runway length is just a little bit over 3,000 feet. If we go back to Lancaster, Lancaster has a CT for a control tower, and that frequency is 120.9. It also has that copyright symbol, which is the CTAF, which in this case is the same as the control tower frequency. Its field elevation is 403. Its longest runway is 6,900 feet long. So if we tap on the info, bring up the runways, you can see right there. There's the longest runway. It's not quite 7,000, so it rounds to 6,900. And this is a class delta, so it's got a dash with a 29, telling you that the delta goes from the surface to 2,900. All deltas go 2,500 feet above the surface, but the surface starts at 403 feet. That's the field elevation. So 400 plus 2,500, 2,900, top of the delta airspace. As we fly, you can see that these big numbers are in each of the tiles that we're flying through, and those are hundreds of feet for the tallest thing in that tile. So we had 2,100, this is 1,700, we had another 1,700, so that tells me I need to fly above 2,100 feet if I want to clear all of the terrain and obstructions. When flying VFR, there are rules for your altitudes. If you're flying in east heading, then you fly at an odd altitude plus 500 feet. So the first odd altitude above 2,100 plus 500 feet would be 3,500. So that's what we're going to choose for this flight. If we were flying a west heading, it would be an even altitude plus 500 feet. So in that case, we could choose 4,500 if we were flying west, but we're not. We're flying east, so we're going to stick with 3,500 for our cruising altitude, and that'll keep us safe from crashing into anything on the ground. Now our next task is to choose some waypoints to keep us on course along the way. And we'll want to keep our waypoints within about 10 miles of each other. When visibility is great, you'll usually have 10 miles of visibility, so you'll want to keep it that distance so it's something you could see with your eyes. So if I measure out to my first waypoint that I've selected, it's about 7 to 8 miles, which is ideal. And I'm going to choose a road. That's what that line is on the map. So it's a road that I have to cross, just like the next waypoint is a road that I have to cross. If I toggle to satellite view, I can zoom in and see what the actual road is there. In this case, it's a route. Routes and interstates are pretty good selections because they're usually wider than normal roads, and they're fairly easy to spot from the air. I like to personally choose things that I'm crossing at 90 degrees because I have to cross them, so I can't miss them. If I were to choose something that were parallel to my course, I could be off course and miss it. So I've got a bunch of roads, interstates, the turnpike here. All of these are excellent selections for my waypoints that will be very easy to spot from the air. And I could just write Interstate 76 here and look for it. Rivers are also excellent waypoints. So if we zoom in here, I can see this is the Schuylkill River. And I have to cross it just like the roads because I'm flying roughly 90 degrees against it. So we'll write that down. If you could read that chicken scratch there, that'll be another waypoint. And then if I zoom in here and go back to the VFR sectional map, this is Pottstown, which has an airport, November 47. But if you look to the south of it, there's a VFR reporting point of cooling towers and something that looks like a mountain that's showing you an obstruction, which are the nuclear cooling towers. There's 2 of them there. So if I zoom in, you can see the satellite photo. There they are. So those will be throwing up steam plumes way into the sky. You'll be able to see these from more than 10 miles away. Those are an excellent, excellent waypoint. Now in this case, I'm using the Schuylkill River, but I will be able to see them probably before I can see the Schuylkill River. So we'll make a note of that on our map as well, that's a good visual reference, or what I'd call a ground reference, to tell me where I am in the sky.
Skyhawk 272, I wasn't able to find a flight plan.
All right, we've got another road crossing here. This is an interstate, so we can mark that down. .476, that's the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And then we arrive at Doylestown. Lancaster ground, Skyhawk 80272 is a C-172 slant golf would like flight following destination Doylestown, Delta Yankee Lima at 3,500 with information X-ray.
Skyhawk 272 on departure, maintain VFR at or below 3500 feet. Departure on 126.45, squawk 6342.
On departure, maintain VFR at or below 3,500, departure 126.45, squawk 6342, Skyhawk 272. Lancaster ground, Skyhawk 272, parked at the restaurant, taxi for east departure with information X-ray.
3, then continue taxi via Charlie contact tower on 120.9 when ready for departure.
Skyhawk 272, taxi to runway 31 via Alpha.
Taxi runway 31 via Alpha, Skyhawk 272.
Lancaster ground.
All right, we'll test my brakes. They work.
Pacific, my IFR up to Fort Meade, Foxtrot Mike Echo.
And as we are taxiing here,
Good evening, ground.
we'll check that all of our gauges are turning in the correct direction. Compass is turning.
Requesting IFR clearance.
Attitude indicator is level.
Regional Airport.
We've got a run-up area here on the side that we'll pull into.
Lancaster ground taxi to
All right, we'll check our flight controls.
taxiway Alpha.
Elevator up, elevator down, rudder left, rudder right, right, aileron down, left, aileron down.
Uniform.
Do our mag check, mag left, good drop, back to both, mag right, good drop, back to both.
283 Papa.
Lancaster Tower, Skyhawk 80272, holding short runway 31, ready for departure.
Skyhawk 3 Sierra Papa, you're leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Skyhawk 80272, Lancaster Tower, runway 31, winds 280 at 14, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 31, Skyhawk 80272.
midfield, Baron 45 X-ray Sierra.
Baron 5 X-ray Sierra.
Alright, normally I prefer to run with the live weather, but the weather is crazy here lately between snow and incredible winds. Today it's gusting 25 knots. Later in the week it's going to be gusting 35 knots. So we are not flying in that. Instead we've got one of the presets in the game to give us some normal VFR flying conditions. Alright, we've got full throttle. Our airspeed is live. Coming up on rotate speed. And we're up.
3 Sierra Papa, enter left downwind for runway 13. Skyhawk 3 Sierra Papa, winds calm. Runway 13, cleared to land.
Lancaster Tower, Skyhawk 383 at Sierra Papa, clear runway 13.
We're going to turn on to our initial heading and continue our climb to 3,500 feet.
Skyhawk 383 Sierra Papa, Lancaster Tower, taxi to parking via Alpha, remain this frequency. Skyhawk 383 Sierra Papa, Lancaster Tower, winds calm. Runway 13, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 13, cleared for takeoff, 383 Sierra Papa.
Center 5 Golf, enter left downwind for runway 8. Runway 8, cleared to land.
Lancaster Tower, Skyhawk 383 Sierra Papa, 3 miles north with information.
289er at 5, runway 26, cleared for takeoff. Make left turn on course for North Mustang 297, winds 320 at 8, runway 26, cleared for takeoff. Skyhawk 383 Sierra Papa, Lancaster Tower, make straight in for runway 26.
Harrisburg approach, Skyhawk 80272, level 3,500.
East of Sheepshead Airport at 2,800 feet. Lycans altimeter 3006.
Skyhawk 272, radar contact.
9617.
Skyhawk 06 Lima, contact Lancaster Tower on 120.9er.
Piper 7621 Papa, Harrisburg approach, good morning. Reading altimeter 3003.
Skyhawk 272, contact New York Center on 132.1.
Over to center on 132.1, Skyhawk 272. New York Center, Skyhawk 80272, level 3,500.
Skyhawk 80272, New York Center, good evening, Pottstown, altimeter 29.901.
TBM Delta Echo Foxtrot, New York Center, roger, altimeter 3056.
Proceed direct Oster, clear for New York 97 approach 00 Bravo.
Skyhawk 272, Doylestown Airport, at your 12 o'clock, 15 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR.
Frequency change approved, Squawk VFR. Thanks for the help, Skyhawk 272.
Flight level 340.
Doylestown traffic, Skyhawk 80272, 10 miles west at 3,500, will be overflying midfield at 3,100, inbound for full stop Doylestown. There's our windsock pointing to runway 5. Doylestown traffic, Skyhawk 272, left downwind, runway 5, full stop Doylestown. Doylestown traffic, Skyhawk 272, final, runway 5, full stop Doylestown. Alright, that was beautiful. We got to fly over some photogrammetry at the end there as we got north of the Philly Class Bravo, and it looked fantastic. I hope you enjoyed the VFR short sectional tutorial. If you're interested in more tutorials like that for how to set up flights for flight simming, leave a comment. I'll be happy to do some more topics if you'd like. So I hope you enjoy realistic general aviation content like this. If you do, be sure to leave me a comment, click that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, as always, for flying along with me, and stay tuned for further flight adventures.